Okay. Good evening, everybody. My name is Michael Galoyu. I'm one of your co-chairs for the 2024 DPH State Convention. Tonight, we're going to be going over making sure that you can vote, securing your vote for the 2024 DPH State Convention. We do ask that you remain muted to the beginning portion of this, and then we're going to open it up for questions. As you know, this is a recorded thing, and we're going to be putting that up so everybody else that could not make it tonight. All right, so here we go. The agenda for tonight, we are going to go introductions, which we've already done. We're going to cover the types of elections that we'll be doing at this year's convention, as well as the different types of delegates there are. Then we'll go over the party elections, the presidential electors, the delegates of the Democratic National Convention, cover some convention deadlines, and then we will end up with Q&A at the end. So if you have any questions as we go through the slides, I ask you to put them into the chat. And if I don't get to it in the presentation, I will make sure I pick them up at the end. And so let's get going. So the types of elections. Well, there's the party elections, which covers for the party chair, national committee members, and the Senate district reps. And they all serve on the state central committee. Those elections will be held by, and so those are the type, that's that one election. The other type of election we're going to be doing is for presidential electors. And that's for the 4 people that will cast their votes for Hawaii in the Electoral College. And then and there's also 2 alternates. And then we're also going to be doing delegates to the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. And then, so types of delegates. Usually we only have 2 types, but since things are a little different this year, being a presidential year, and some of the new requirements that came down from the Democratic National Committee, we actually have 4 different types of delegates. The first one is elected delegates, and that's anybody who was elected at the biennial elections held on March 6th, or at an in-person district council meeting on April 2nd or after. Automatic delegates are any party officials, like all members of the SCC, your district chairs. Those are considered the party officials. Then you have your elected officials. Any democratically elected official, anybody who ran under the party's banner to get to their position. And that goes from governor, lieutenant governor, both chambers, as well as the nonpartisan races for our county councils, as well as OHA. And then we also have what we call our past party chairs, past governors, and lieutenant governors are all considered automatic delegates. Then we get into the appointed delegates, and that's anybody who's been appointed by their district chair between May 2nd and May 7th. And then we have a nice little new category this year. It's delegates outside of their precinct. You could be elected at one of those meetings after the April 2nd meeting into a delegate slot, and you're sitting outside of your precinct. We cannot cross house district lines, but we can cross precinct lines to ensure that anybody and everybody that wants to be a delegate can, or we do our best to. So let's go through the types of elections. The party elections. Who can vote? All delegates that have registered and paid their delegate fees by the deadline of 5 p.m. on May 7th, 2024. Alternates can be any alternates that are moved into delegate spots by the Credentials Committee. They have until 5 p.m. on May 10th, 2024 to register and pay. So if you're already a delegate, your deadline is May 7th at 5 p.m. If you become a delegate after the May 7th deadline, you have until May 10th. And anybody who's moved into the delegate slots will have access to the early bird. So have access to the early bird fees. How will these votes be cast? Every delegate that is registered and paid their delegate fees will get an email from Merriman River Group, MRG, at 12:01 a.m. on Friday, May 17th, 24. The email will come from admin@mrgvote.com. You're going to want to add that to your contact list so that email does not go into your spam folder. They will be sending you out all the delegates that meet these requirements will be getting a test email earlier in the week from MRG. And so we can see who's opening it and whatnot, and then following up with those that we missed. So there we go. wait, let's go back. Sorry. Delegates, you'll have until 11:59 p.m. on Saturday, May 18th to cast your votes. You can cast your vote using your smartphone or a computer. If you have any problems with that, there's an 800 number that'll be listed in the ballot, your access to your ballot. You can call that number and somebody will get back to you. MRG will have staff on site at the Hilton Hawaiian Village in the Tapa Ballroom. Again, we're going to be in the Tapa Ballroom this year to answer questions and to help you vote. So the other elections we're going to be doing is presidential electors. Who can vote this? And this is every delegate that has turned in their pledge of support form for Joe Biden by 5 p.m. on May 2nd, 2024. And you've registered and paid your delegate fees by the deadline that we just talked about, and that you appear in person at the Tapa Ballroom at the Hilton Hawaiian Village on Saturday, May 18th, 2024. We have currently scheduled, the chair has currently scheduled the elections from 3 to 5 on that Saturday. And if you haven't seen the schedule, it's on our website, dphconvention.com. And these votes will be cast by a signed paper ballot. There is no such thing as a secret ballot when it comes to these elections, because you are representing other people and they have a right to know how you voted. So we have to be able to track that. And this is a Democratic National Committee requirement. And then we have delegates to the DNC in Chicago. And this is where things get a little funky. Who can vote? Only delegates who were elected at the biennial election meetings or at an in-person district council meeting afterwards, after that, March 6th. And you have to be sitting in a delegate slot in the precinct where you reside. And you have to have turned in your voter pledge of support form by 5 p.m. on May 2nd. And then you've registered and paid your delegate fees by the deadline, and you appear in person at the Tapa Ballroom at the Hilton Hawaiian Village on Saturday, May 18th. And like I said, we're looking at doing, according the chair has had set that for between 3 and 5. How will these votes be cast? By a signed paper ballot. And delegates that turn in a voter pledge of support form for Biden will vote for the candidates running to represent the Biden-Harris ticket. And delegates that submitted uncommitted will vote for the delegates running for the uncommitted delegates. And we have those excuse me, sorry. We have all those candidates up on the website, and you can see as they get credentialed, they are going up. So you're going to want to check that regularly. And then after the deadline, which to file for that again is May 2nd at 5 p.m. There is no fee to file, but you do need 10 signatures from your, if you're running for the CD, the congressional district, you do need 10 delegates, 10 delegates, sorry, 10 members of the district from the Democratic Party that live in CD1, Congressional District 1. Or you need, if you're doing at large, it's just 10 members anywhere. They don't have to be, they're not limited to the congressional district. So here are the deadlines. For those that want to run for any of the party elections that we talked about first, national committee members, SCC, Senate reps, and party chair, the filing deadline and having all your signatures as well paying your filing fee is this Saturday, April 27th at 11:59 p.m. And then the next deadlines is May 6th. It's going to be the last day that any of the standing committees, and it includes affirmative action, platform, resolution, and rules, can meet. Again, May 7th is the deadline for delegates that are, if you're already a delegate, yes, it's your deadline to register and pay. Any delegate that does not register and pay, your seat will be vacated, and the credentials committee will then use that time between May 7th and May 10th to move alternates up if they're available. So the deadline for delegates to request separation. Oh, sorry, moving right along. May 13th, affirmative action, platform, resolution, and rules committee reports will be posted to the party website. If you're really interested in what's going on there, we have our standing committee page on the website, and you can go watch the recordings of those standing committee meetings. And so you can hear everybody debate it all out. But the reports will be up by May 13th. May 16th is the deadline for delegates to request separations from any of those reports. The separation forms will be up on the website, and you have to follow those rules there on that, and it's all spelled out on how to do that on the website. And the deadline, May 16th, is also the deadline for delegates to register to speak on any item separated. And then, of course, the actual convention, May 18th and May 19th. May 18th is hybrid, in person and using our online platform Jumbo. May 19th, if we need it, we'll be there, and that's going to be solely online using the Jumbo platform. Again, our convention website is dphconvention.com. Now we're to the question and answer period. So I'm going to stop sharing and let me see. I saw a question. Let's see. Can those that become delegates between May 2nd through May 7th vote for national delegates? No, they may not. You have to have been elected into those seats. So if you're an automatic delegate, you cannot vote for the national delegates unless you were elected into a delegate slot. And if you were appointed by a district chair between May 2nd and May 7th, you may not vote for the DNC delegates. And again, you have to show up in person at the Hilton Hawaiian Village. So May 2nd has been the deadline to file for the DNC delegates, and that has not changed. And so for uncommitted folks, then the presidential elector forms are not relevant. Sounds like that's only a matter for the Joe Biden supporters. Yes, if you submit a pledge of support form for uncommitted, since there is no candidate for you to pledge your support to, you will not be able to vote in the presidential elector race. Delegate fees paid. Those are the same as your convention fees. They're all they're all the same. There's nothing extra after you pay your delegate fees. That covers you all for everything. The rationale behind requiring delegates to pay is that Hilton Hawaiian Village is not free. The MRG does not provide their services for free. We do need to be able to pay for convention, and we are barred from the DNC from making money off your delegate fees. We keep the price at that because that covers the cost to put the convention on. If you applied for a waiver, you will not hear anything until the deadline, which is April 30th. And then that is when the credentials team will go in, review everything, and using the budget that the SCC provided when they set the budget for the entire state convention, will be dealing with those.
Can I speak? Can anybody hear me?
We can hear you. Just one second. I'm going through the questions in the chat first.
Oh, okay.
There is a spot on the form for uncommitted for the pledge of support, though. Yes. As a District 13 officer who is attending remotely, may I testify vote on resolutions? Absolutely. Those are not elections. Those are considered part. Those are part of the regular course of business. That is part of the Jumbo platform, and we're going to train on that later. We're not talking about that part of the convention tonight. That's going to be trained to make sure everybody's going to want to be trained on that, whether you're participating online or in person, because everybody is going to need to bring a device with them. And we will cover that in May when we get closer. But since we have these deadlines coming up, we wanted to provide this training tonight to make sure everybody gets their voter support forms in. And so you find out how to be, if you're a registered delegate, by checking your email. We send you emails on a regular basis letting you know. We'll be putting at the bottom of every email that goes out from us that says if you are registered or not. We're in the process of building that into all the forms. Um, uh, if you filled out your form, if you filled out the form, you can check your email box by searching for a Google form, and it will, if you did it via the online service, if you did it via a paper form, you'll still get an email from us. And those just take a little longer to process because we got to type those all in and stuff. So uh, 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 the it all depends on when it comes to waivers, it all depends on what kind of waiver you receive. We will they will, that's something for the credentials committee to take up with each person that submitted a request for waiver. What exactly forms do online Zoom folks need to fill out? If you're only participating via online, you don't need to fill out the voter pledge of support form because if you're going to be participating online and you're going to be able to make it down to the Hilton Wine Village at between 3 and 5 to vote, you're going to want to fill out that voter pledge of support form. If you're not sure what your schedule looks like that day, since it's a free form, it's down there. There is, and unfortunately, the way the delegate selection plan was written, there's no Google form, a version of that. It all has to be paper form. And but you can scan that, take a picture with your phone, mail it in, and then if you're going to email it to us, you email to secretary@hawaiidemocrats.org. You do not send it to 2024 conv@hawaiidemocrats.org. Unfortunately, it specifically says in the delegate selection plan to do that. If you're registered online for Zoom, there is no additional fees to come vote in person. No, it's automatically included. And so that, yeah, you don't have to worry about that. You just be registered for the convention. The meet and greet is it is a party fundraiser on Friday night, from 5 to 7, from on 5/17 from 6 to 8. That is a party fundraiser. We are trying to dig ourselves out of a hole that was dug for us last year and trying to make sure we're on strong footing as we head into the general election. So that is a fundraiser for the party on Friday night. What happens to the uncommitted votes? The uncommitted votes are the only thing that we look at for uncommitted is when it comes for voting for the DNC delegates, the delegates going to the national committee. Yes, because Gary, you sent yours via you mailed yours in, and we're going to get you your email shortly. But again, like I said, it takes longer to process, and staff was out last week. So if you don't show up in person, you cannot vote for 2 elections. Again, those are 2 elections you cannot vote in, and that's the presidential elector and the Democratic, and those going to the DNC. Party elections, like I said, everybody will get that via email. Everybody who's paid and registered will be able to do that. Okay, so going through the hands raised. Up first is Cora Yamamoto. Please go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay. How do I move an alternate who was elected at the biennial to delegate on May 2nd?
You, if they were elected, you don't have to wait till May 2nd.
Oh, okay.
You can move them into a delegate slot now. If you're crossing precinct lines, you just had to have that April 2nd meeting or one thereafter. So at least there was a second bite at the apple. If
Right.
you've done that,
We've done that.
Okay, so then you're free to cross precinct lines. Just remind that person that if you're crossing a precinct line to put them in a delegate slot, they will not be able to vote for the DNC delegates. The credentials team will do their best for those that don't register and pay. When we take all those people out, if we have people that are not sitting in their home precinct and they were an elected, if you are elected as an alternate, you're considered an elected delegate if they get moved up. And we will try to move them into their home precinct. So
not a problem because we have space.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, so do they, so if I do it ahead of time, before the second, they have time to turn in their voter pledge of support?
And yes, and we've emailed every alternate that we had emails addressed for, telling them to get their pledge of support form. We invited them here tonight. I know there are a couple people on here that are alternates, so I'm so glad to see them here. So they're learning to make sure just get the form, and just in case they get moved up, they're
Right.
okay to go.
Okay, I have a follow-up question.
Sure. Go ahead.
Is it the same procedure? Well, what if someone has approached us to be a delegate? I have to wait till the second to appoint them, correct?
Correct. Or you could call another in-person meeting and elect them.
Okay, got it. Who do I send the information to if I want to move the alternate to delegate?
You email Aaron at hawaiidemocrats.org. You need to CC 2024 CONV at hawaiidemocrats.org.
Okay,
Okay.
got it. Okay, yep.
Okay. Up
Thank
next
you.
oh, you're very welcome. Up next is Stephen and then Ray. Stephen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are two questions. The voting deadline for party officials is Saturday, May 18th. Is that correct?
That is not correct. The election for party officials, that's party chair, national committee members, and any contested Senate district reps. You have 48 hours for that. You will get an email at 12:01 a.m. on Friday from MRG, Merriman River Group, and they will send that email out to you. You use that email to, it will have your password, and you click on that and you put in your password and all the stuff, and then you vote right that way. You have 48 hours from that time till voting cuts off at 11:59 p.m. on Saturday night. And that's for the party elections. And again, that's for everybody that has registered, whether you're an automatic, appointed, elected, all four different types. Get that. Okay.
There's there's confusion. You said 48 hours from May 17th.
Yes. You have all of Friday and all of Saturday to vote. That's 48 hours.
So again, the question goes back. The deadline is Saturday night at before midnight.
Yes, 11:59 p.m. The voting portal
right,
closes
okay.
on Saturday. And again,
Now,
yes, go ahead.
yeah, that's what I said. Okay, so the other question is, I signed up to be an online delegate, but then I see all of this thing about you have to be in person if you want to vote for presidential elector and DNC delegates. When did this rule come into play? We never had to do that before.
Nope. Like I
And
said
why?
earlier,
And why?
why this is something that came down from the Democratic National Committee.
Well, why isn't that rule
Stephen?
why
Stephen.
aren't we notified?
Stephen?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you. I just asked you asked me a question. Please give me the opportunity to respond. And if my answer is incomplete, we actually are lucky enough to have Kate Stanley on the phone, who is the master of all DSP, the delegate selection plan. She ran your party run presidential primary. So if my answer is incomplete, she can actually fill in any gaps. So this was something that was required by the Democratic National Committee. I can't answer why that is. That is something you need to talk to somebody with a higher pay grade than mine. It was in the delegate selection plan when it went out to public comment the first time, as well as it went out for public comment the second time when we actually had to change how we were going to do things. So it's always been there. And that's what was voted on not once, but twice by every member of the State Central Committee with this. And but it's basically a requirement from the Democratic National Committee. Kate, do you agree with that? Sorry, give Kate a second to unmute. You're still muted, Kate.
Okay, can everybody hear me now? This is Kate Stanley. Yes, the DSP is written by each different state and it must conform with the requirements set forth by the larger Democratic National Committee. So some things we have no choice about, and this is one of them.
So yeah, so there you go. Thank you, Kate. Does that answer your question, Stephen?
It answers part of it. It doesn't go into details on why the system is changed so drastically. It's almost where you're actually trying to restrict participation in this convention,
Well,
which
we're
is
not doing anything,
contrary to what
Stephen.
we want to do to promote the Democratic Party.
Yeah, and we're not doing anything, Stephen. We're just following the directive from the Democratic National Committee. That was something that we were required to get our delegate selection plan passed. We had to adopt, so we could be able to send delegates to the DNC in Chicago.
Okay, well, why wasn't anybody advocating for something different?
I cannot answer that question. I was not at those meetings. I'm going to ask you to, I've answered your questions the best of my ability. I'm going to encourage you to talk to our current national committee members, and maybe they can answer for you, but we're going to need to move on to the next question. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Stephen. Hi, Ray. You're up next.
Hi, Michael, and everybody else. Because I filled out my form and I sent it in, and I was hoping to vote, in the presidential election. But it looks like I can't, right? Because I'm going to be online, and I'm, online because I'm on Kauai. So, okay, I guess we got to go elsewhere to get an answer. The other question I got is, when are the resolutions going to be discussed? The first day or the second day?
It depends on how long, because as the agenda will not be put together until after we get the reports, and actually not until we see everything that's separated. But the order is always affirmative action, platform, then rules, and then resolutions. And so, yeah. So just so everybody knows, there were no amendments to the affirmative action plan. The affirmative action committee had a little hiccup last night, but they're meeting next week twice. They're going to be providing recommendations to you all to vote. It's a recommendation, so you're not actually voting on the plan because the plan is not going to change. They're just changing the dates, and they're going to give you recommendations on how to implement the plan. And basically not you all, but the next state central committee on how to make sure that we actually implement the affirmative action plan. The platform, they have some late submissions, and we'll see what happens there. And the platform committee meets tomorrow night at 6:30. If you want to watch any of those meetings live, you can. There's a registration link. It's all done via webinar. You can go to the dphconvention.com and sign up for any of those meetings, and you can watch it live, or you can wait about 2 to 3 hours, because we do our best to get those recordings up that same night. And then you can go back, and all the links are there, so you can watch any of the ones that's already happened. The rules committee has met twice. The resolutions committee has met twice already. And so again, all that's there. So all that transparency is there before you get to see the reports. So I can't answer your question until we actually see what happens. And the reason that we have the outlay of this convention was basically handed to us since we all came on board, or most of us came on board in November of 2023, and we already had a location selected for us and a format selected for us, and so we're just doing our best to make sure that everybody can participate, and that we have the hybrid on Saturday. And if need be, we also have everybody goes to Jumbo, which is the online platform for Sunday. So if we get through everything quickly with the rules, we might get everything done on Saturday. And then there's the only thing that will happen on Sunday is the announcement of the winners from all the different elections. That'll be done via email. Okay.
Michael.
Yes.
In terms of the waivers, I won't get an answer till the 30th. Because I asked for a waiver.
After the 30th. 30th is the deadline. You got to give at least the credentials committee 1 day to go. They are
Okay.
reviewing them as we speak, but we got to look at the totality of the asks. And so and then they will be in contact. Okay.
Okay, I got a technical question. Now, I'm sending in the resolution from Kauai on our immediate ceasefire for Gaza. And so I have 2 delegates who signed it, and I'm working on my 10 delegates, outside of the 2 ones that proposed it, 2 proposers and 10 delegates. I think you know what I'm talking about. When is the due date for me to send that in?
That due date has passed. It's now considered late, but we already have that exact same, I'm pretty sure the exact same resolution at state. So unless you made major changes to it,
No changes.
okay, so we already actually we have the scribe for the resolutions committee on the line, Will Caron. Can you confirm that we have that? You guys already have that, and you're we'll be debating that.
That Kauai's resolution?
It's
I don't know if it's Kauai's resolution. I don't know if they're identical, but we do have a it's kind of like a ceasefire resolution. It's like a peace in Israel and Palestine resolution, and it has a bunch of steps for how to do that, one of which is a ceasefire. So it's like ceasefire plus extra stuff.
You can submit that. Oh, but if you want the committee to be able to at least look at that, you submit it
Yes.
ASAP. It will require a 2/3 vote. Because all individual resolutions were due April 12th. And then the counties were due on April 19th.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought it was going to be due on the 17th of May. I'm mistaken then, right? I'm
no,
wrong.
we take nothing from the floor. Nothing, no. And those deadlines have been on our website since we got the website up to date as of the website was January 18th, but yeah, those deadlines have been there. Those were the deadlines for that. So
okay, I was mistaken. I thought I could send it in because I'm still trying to get some names, and I was going to send it in after tomorrow.
you still can.
Send it in, yeah, I still can. Okay.
Yeah, you can
And
still send it in, but like I said, it's going to require 2/3 vote of the members of the committee to bring it up. So
okay, so how do I get it to the committee then?
you follow,
Being-
you
Then
can,
I'm sending it from Kauai.
yeah, you use the online portal, and the online portal will stay active. And that is available to you on the link to that is on the DPH website. Okay. Not the sorry.
It's on what website you said?
DPHconvention.com. The convention website has it. You just go to the how-to section and it'll take you right to it. Okay.
It was kind of confusing, that's why, for me, when I could send it in, because I couldn't get all the names right away because we had some real bad weather here on Kauai in terms of rain, yeah. So I couldn't go out and see people and get those signatures.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll
okay.
make sure that you guys get it. All right,
Okay.
thank you. Okay,
Make
bye-bye.
sure we get it.
Yeah,
I think the committee would like it rather sooner rather than later, just as you have it to us
Yeah.
by Friday, because they meet
Well, you
again.
get it by Friday. I'll send it in.
Okay, great. And
Thank
if you
you.
have any problems, email 2024 conv@hawaiidemocrats.org and we will answer you right away. Okay, or as soon as we can, because we all have jobs and sometimes we have a life. So there, yeah. So up next, Christine.
Sorry for that. Okay. So I'm from the Big Island, and I'm unclear as to whether our accepted resolutions from the pre-convention got accepted with the state resolutions committee, because I was told that we were too late.
We're just waiting on the signatures.
So
Because
I'd like to hustle and get you the signatures. So is there a form that I can download?
yeah, there's a paper form you can download. There's also an online portal using the Google form that you can just send that link around. And if you go to dphconvention.com and the how-to section, it'll walk you all through it. And then when you get to the Google form, it talks you all how to do it. And if you have any questions, you get,
DPHconvention.com, and where exactly do I find, what should I be
like I
searching?
said, you don't need to search for anything. You just go to the how-to page and it tells you how to
How-to.
do it. Yes.
Okay.
Or anything else?
Well, on another topic, did I
Sure.
hear you right that there's no in-person meeting on Sunday, the 19th of May?
No, there's not. This is the format that was delivered to us that when we came on board in November. Was it no?
Okay, so there's no accommodation package either.
No, we've encouraged, if you want to stay at the host hotel, just call and ask for the Kamina rate. If that is outside, and I trust me, it's outside of my price range. Is that
Sure, it's out of mine too.
then kayak, not to be promoting another thing, kayak.com will provide you with a listing of things, and the nice thing about kayak is it shows you on the map where the hotel is located and it gives you different price points. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very welcome. And yeah, unfortunately, when we came on board, it was too late to get a block of rooms, because block of rooms has to be done at six months out at the latest, but they usually like it a year and a half out. So unfortunately, there wasn't anything we could do once we came on board, and we looked at it from 3 ways from Sunday. So
Okay, I'm starting to understand this better now. Thank you.
you're very welcome. So yeah. So anything else before I move on? Are you all good? Okay. Ren, you're up next.
Yes, thank you. Apologies. I am still just a little confused about what's going on with sending the uncommitted delegates to the DNC. I will be able to attend the state convention in person, so I have my voter supporter form. Should I check uncommitted on here so I can vote for those uncommitted delegates going to Chicago?
Yes, if that is your wish to be able to vote for the candidates running for uncommitted, that is what you're going to want to do, so you can be able to vote in those elections.
Got it. One quick follow-up. I looked on the website recently. It looked like there was only one person running, and I think, is it true that we're able to send 7 delegates?
We can send 7, but we can only send 7 if 7 people apply in those different areas. As you see, once you go to the website, you'll see how many delegates are in each of the different sections. There are the congressional districts 1 and 2. We have the Pleo, the at-large, and then the alternate. So those are all available if somebody wants to. And again, there is no fee to file to run to be a national delegate. You just have to get 10 signatures. If you want to run for the congressional district one, you have to get they all have to be members of the Democratic Party living in CD1 or living in CD2. If you want to run for the at-large or the alternate, those just have to, those just have to be signed by anybody in the party. And the Pleo is party leaders and elected officials. So, yes.
Got it. And then just last question, am I remembering right that it is, if you were to run and get seated, you would need to pay your costs to get to Chicago? Is that correct?
That is correct. We do, unfortunately, we do not have, like I mentioned earlier, we're still digging ourselves out of the hole that was dug for us last year. And so we do not have the funds to help. And it's my understanding that the party's never been able to help delegates get to, you have to get there under your own power. And so, and you are allowed to fundraise for that. You're just not allowed to use any of the party resources to fundraise.
Got it. Thank you, Michael.
Sure. Just so everybody knows, Renee, I'll get right to you. Just one second. The party pledge, the voter pledge of support form is on the dphconvention.com website. You will find it in multiple locations. It's available on the deadline. When you go to May 2nd, you'll see voter pledge of support form there. You can click that. That will pop up. You got to download that, print that out, and sign it. Unless you know how to manipulate a PDF, then by all means, have at it. But you still are going to need to sign it. We do accept electric signatures on that, or whatever you want to call it. And then also, where else? You'll find it there under a how-to. It will be there as well. And I'm pretty sure it's also in the on the front page. If you just scroll down, you'll see there's a big blue box on the front page with the deadlines, and it's also available there. So there's 3 different locations that's available. It's also been hot linked in every email that I've done since we started talking about the voter pledge of support form. The reason we didn't talk about it earlier is because, like everybody else, we all wait till the last minute. And then when it finally, yeah, so we're going step through step. So when we get closer to these deadlines, we bring it more closer to your attention. So, I hope the emails have been informative. If not, let me know if there's anything, let us know. Send us an email at 2024CONV, and we will do our best to make that, again, everything you need to know about the state convention is on this website. We spent a lot of time, money, and energy to put into that. So we encourage you, if you've not been there yet, to please give it a visit. Yes, Renee.
My question is about the difference between the Democratic Committee members that we have 2 of that we have 4 of.
Well, our
4 of.
party chair and the vice chair are both members of the DNC. Granted, our current interim party chair and current vice chair have been there since Donna's been there since November, and Adrian's been there since the beginning of December. So yeah. So go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay. No, that's fine. Thank you. That was helpful. Now, what there's discussion about people who are going to be elected as delegates to the Democratic National Convention, which really has nothing whatsoever to do with who is going to be the Democratic Committee members from Hawaii. Correct?
Correct.
Can you explain the difference between those 2 elections?
Sure. The National Committee members, the party chair are all, and like I said, and the vice chair are all members of the Democratic National Committee, and those are done through the party elections. And that for the National Committee members, it's a 4-year term. For party chair, that's a 2-year term, and the vice chair is elected from the membership of the State Central Committee as it exists after the fall of the gavel after the state convention. Depending on who is elected chair, it has been it's not written in our bylaws or our constitution, but it has been party practice that the person who is the vice chair is of a different gender than the party chair and comes from a different county. And so those people become members of the Democratic National Committee. There's 4 meetings a year. Again, going there to debate, talk, hang out, figure out what's going on at the national level. Is that about right, Kate? Since I don't, are you? So that's that elections. And then,
Yes,
I'm sorry.
that is correct.
Okay.
That's correct, Michael. So
Okay.
at this state convention, we're electing people to go to the national convention at which we nominate the presidential candidate.
Yeah.
At the state, we elect the chair, the vice chair, our national committee woman, and national committee men. They take office on the DNC the day after the national convention adjourns. That's when the new DNC forms. So
Yeah.
So I hope, we have 4 people on the DNC. There are hundreds of people on the DNC. We are a small state, have small people. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Kate. And then, and like Kate said, for the delegates, they're the ones that go to represent the state of Hawaii to cast their votes for the nominee. So those that are pledged, we have 2 different types of delegates when it goes to the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. We have our pledged delegates, which is everybody that we're going to be voting for on Saturday. And then there are the Pleos, at-large, and alternates that are voted on by solely the state Senate reps to the SCC. And that happens at the meeting that will take place on Sunday, I believe at 6 p.m. And those are and it's only the Senate district reps, the caucus reps, the county reps, the county chairs, even the party chair does not get to vote in that. It is just those Senate district reps that get to vote for that. And we use our affirmative action plan that's in the delegate selection plan. So we look at how everybody that was elected through the CD1 and CD2, and we fill in the pukas. You hopefully fill in the pukas. It's a guide, not a requirement, but we do our best to try to make sure that our delegation looks like Hawaii. So there's that. So that's the difference. And then they all get to go again under their own steam to Chicago and vote on the platform, vote on the rules, vote on like we do at our state convention. This is just at the national level. Yes, Kate, I see your hand up. Do you want to have anything else to say to this?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
So the obligation, according to our delegate selection plan, says that we will have a gender balanced and a characteristic like ethnic groups and different groups that we want to make sure are represented in our delegation. So after the state convention is over, the new SCC meets. And they, as Michael has said, will elect the rest of the delegation that's entitled to be elected. We have automatic delegates too, the governor, the senators, the representatives, the chair, the vice chair. So it's very complicated, but the people that are going to take over will have lots of guidance on how to complete our delegation.
Yes. Oh, hi, Donna. Everybody, Donna Domingo, our vice chair. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Oh, thank you, Michael. Thank you. I wanted to just explain one thing that we've done. We have appointed a National Convention Committee that is monitoring everything in Chicago. So I want to let the delegates know, who's national delegates, that Chicago is going to be busy, but Hawaii has a room block. Hawaii is knowing what all the activities are, and they're going to be someone there to guide you folks as well. What you do pay on your own is the airfare and the hotel, and as well as food. But there's so much activities that you also be part of the information, and you can choose to participate if you want. So it's not that you're going there and you're left flat, and it's considered a delegation, and Hawaii does have a room block there as well. Thank you.
Oh, and also, but even though we do have a room block, if you are lucky enough to become a delegate, you are not required to stay there at the hotel. If you have a friend in Chicago that you can sleep on they have a spare bedroom or couch or what have you, you could stay there. The only requirement is that you have to be at the host hotel, which our delegation host hotel, every morning to get your credentials for the day. You cannot, our team will let you know what time you have to be there by, and if you're late, you have to hunt them down to find it. Delegate badges are like gold. So if you're going to go stay someplace else, that's fine. You just have to make sure that you can make it to the hotel during the window that they're going to be there. And the staff works their butt off to make sure, and they will work. And we have an amazing leader for that team. And you'll be able to meet them after the so we're trying to keep focus on the state convention right now. So those of you lucky enough will be able to and I'm not telling you who it is because I don't want you calling that person up and peppering with a lot of questions, because there's a lot of work to be done between now and then for them. They're already went to work. They were in Chicago last week on the site visit. So yes. Oh, well, Dale, you're very welcome. I'm so glad we could do this for y'all. Does anybody, we don't know how much the rooms are yet. I don't know right off the top of my head. That's something that you'll find out when it's, I don't know. It's anywhere between $200 and $300 a night. You can share a room with another delegate. If you choose to do so, that is allowed. But we do have, just so everybody knows, there's enough rooms. We have enough in our room block for every delegate to have their own room. So if you want to bring your spouse or you just want to get away from it all, yeah. And okay. Any other questions? You have me, you got Kate, you got Donna. Oh, Bart's here. Hi, Bart. Did you want to chime in on anything about the DNC?
Okay, at this time of year, DNC changes from meaning Democratic National Committee and people start using for Democratic National Convention. So I always get thrown off when people just say DNC. The hotel that Hawaii is assigned to is, I think it's the Hyatt Regency, and it's one that we used for a DNC meeting a couple years ago. It's a very good location. Those that can stay there by doubling up or tripling up, I recommend you do. It's a great place. It's a good part of the city. It's right there near the entrance of the river, near the Apple store if you need to pick up your supplies.
And that is not an endorsement for Apple by the our National Committee member. But thank you, Bart. Anything else? Are you all good? Okay. Let's see. Any other questions? Again, I want to remind you of the deadlines. There is no cush on these deadlines. There is the delegate selection plan is in place. We cannot change any of the deadlines that appear in that. We cannot change any of the deadlines that appear in the standing rules. The standing rules were passed by the State Central Committee, and we have to live by them. Yeah. So again, if you have any other questions after this, oh, I know what I was going to do for you all. I'm going to put the slide deck in the thing. It will be available. The slide deck will also be available. The slide deck, when I post the recording up online, YouTube, on our YouTube channel, will be available there. The slide deck is there, and the link to it is in the chat now. You now have all this great information. I encourage you to share it, or at least share the link to the YouTube video. We will get that up on our website. We will also
You
share.
forgot me. Hello? You forgot Rena.
I didn't see your hand raised.
Huh?
Yes,
Yeah,
Rena, go ahead.
I was waiting to ask questions. But you said to wait.
No, I said wait till after. Yeah, everybody's been asking questions. Go ahead, Rena.
So can I ask now?
I said go ahead twice, but please go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you very much. I'm Renati Kawakami. I'm in District 21. Our chair for the district is Derek Turbin, and I was approved to be a delegate. And I sent my papers in over a month ago with a waiver, and I still haven't heard anything yet from it. So I'm asking, when do you feel that I'll be able to get an answer in regards to that?
Like I said earlier, the waivers are not touched until the deadline. You should have gotten an email at some point from us saying we've received your waiver. You will not hear an answer till after the deadline. The deadline is April 30th.
I didn't receive anything, sir. I didn't receive anything that you guys received my papers. I checked every single day, but I didn't receive anything saying that.
Well, I'm sorry for that.
That's not your fault.
If anybody's missing our emails, make sure you put 2024 CONV at Hawaii Democrats into your address book. That way our emails go directly into your inbox, and not your spam folder, which sometimes happens with MailChimp. That's been one of the things we've been asking people to do, and that was part of the presentation. And yeah, so any other questions?
Is there someone I can call over there?
You have me right now, so
Oh,
like I said, you're not going to hear anything on your waiver until after the deadline.
the deadline is the April 30. Okay.
Let's see. Did you file? I know what the problem is. You have not filed your registration yet. So you need to put your registration in as well. The registration piece does not have a payment portal on it. That's the reason there's two pieces to our registration process.
I applied a registration. I applied everything.
I do not have you in our, I do not have you in our database. So there's the online form. It's really quick and easy. And it's right there on the, if you have your smartphone, you can scan this. That will take you directly to the registration. And that's the reason that that's there. Okay.
Hmm.
By submitting a request for a waiver does not register you for the convention.
No, I applied a registration online. I filled out that form that you folks had online and I filled it all out and everything. And then I sent it in.
Okay,
did.
let me double check. Hold on one second.
Right.
While I'm doing that, does anybody else have any other, or do you have any other question while I'm doing that? No, I do not see it. We have not received that, and I will
Mhm.
double check our other system. So, just, and then, when you do fill that out, it automatically, the reason we have it set up, we have it set up so that you automatically get an email directly back from the Google form. So that will let you know that if your registration went through, that's the reason we require people to log in to be able to do that. So everybody can get that. Okay. So if you want to go do that tonight, and we'll take care of that. Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions from
Well,
you?
thank
Okay.
No.
You're very welcome. Hi, Christine.
Thank you. So two questions. One is for the Friday night fundraiser. Can I
you. Oh, Anita.
invite a friend to that? That's not a
Wherever
delegate?
you want to. That is open to, that, it's not open, it's open to every member of the party or anybody who wants to, support the Democratic Party. There
Great.
is, it is a smaller venue than we had in 2022. So you get to be a little bit closer. We have, for those that you were able to join us in 2022, we have, Kaviki, Kaivi and friends coming back. They did an crazy, sorry, it's been a long day. And so
Okay,
Kaivi and friends. And so, yeah, it is $125. Like I said, it is a fundraiser for the party. And yeah, so.
okay, and then on the back end, on Saturday evening, I've seen a lot of drama in previous conventions at the tail end where it's just crucial to be there to vote on something important, but now it looks like maybe I need to arrange my flight back to Hilo late. So conservatively,
We have to be
knowing
out
how
by
these
5.
things run, when should I book it? To
We're
fly
gonna, we
back?
have to be out of that room. We have to end our meeting by 5. And that's why we already put that on the schedule. So we have a hard close at 5 p.m. on Saturday night. And that's the reason we also have, then we have Sunday if we need it for anything that can flow over there. Sunday will be at the call of the chair, depending on how much we have left to do, if there's anything left to be done. And we have some exciting surprises for you all still. So be on the lookout for that. We still have some tricks up our sleeves. We're trying our best to make this exciting for everybody. So yeah. And so
Thank you.
yeah. Any other questions, concerns? You still got me? Unfortunately, the only thing I have to do is process paperwork after this.
I have a question.
Yes, Juanita?
Thank you, Michael. So if people still come up with other concerns that they weren't able to address at this moment, where would we go?
All questions can be answered what happening at the state convention at dphconvention.com. If you can't find your answer there, we encourage you to send us an email at 2024conv@hawaiidemocrats.org. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm. So, okay, it's 7:01. Anything else? You don't need to use the raise the hand function. We're down to, and you're of course you're free to log off. Like I said, this recording will be up online at some. It takes an hour. It takes about an hour to process the video. So give it about an hour, and you can go. We will have it available on our website. It will be under our resources section. There'll also be a button on the front page. that will take you to our thing. If you have not already done so, please, I encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. So when these videos, other videos, trainings, like we will record the one for Jumbo. If you can't make those, you can watch that. You'll also you also know when we put up the recordings from the standing committee meetings that take place. Like we have platform tomorrow night, rules and resolutions, then rules on Monday next week. And then affirmative action is meeting twice next week to go over their recommendations and then finalize their report. And then rules is meeting again on May 6th at the last ditch effort yes. Okay, National Convention 2024 Statement of Candidacy Form, district level versus at large. District level is for your congressional district. You can apply for both if you choose to do so. But you do need to get 10 signatures on both the forms. The signatures are limited to CD1, your congressional district for the district level, and then at large, it could be anybody anywhere that lives in the state that's a member of the party. And trust me, just because they vote Democrat, they think they're a member of the party, and since we're all here tonight and we all know the difference, so let's make sure when you go to get those signatures that you're getting the signature from somebody who is a member of the party, or we unfortunately will have to kick that back. And there's nothing in the rules. Especially if you wait till the last minute, I encourage you, please do not wait till the last minute. If you can get those signed form and get them into this weekend, please do so. Waiting to the last minute, and when we get your forms and you are missing signatures or one of the signatures are invalid, there's nothing in the delegate selection plan that allows for curing those. And like we'll be curing delegates here shortly. So, which is a common practice with us here at the Democratic Party of Hawaii, to make sure those that were elected, if they're missing anything, their voter files out of whack, their membership files out of whack, we always give everybody the opportunity to fix that. But they do have to have it all fixed by the deadline of May 7th. Anything else? Yeah, yes. You're muted.
Where did you say that I have to register? Can you, because you said you didn't receive my thing, so where do I have to register, you said?
There's the link to it. The link to the Google form is on dphconvention.com.
Wait, EPH
Convention.com.
convention.com.
It's
Okay.
also hot linked in the email that you got tonight for about tonight. That's available right there. We always have that available to you all as well. You can just go there and click that.
I'll do that tonight.
So there you go.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Anybody else? Okay, going once, going twice. On that note, on behalf of the Democratic Party of Hawaii, I want to thank you all for spending part of your evening here with us. We look forward to seeing you if you're going to be joining us in person or online on May 17th and May 18th and May 19th. Again, you have all this information. Please share it with your fellow Democrats. Pass out the video link. And if you have any other questions, please remember 2024 CONV at hawaiidemocrats.org. Alrighty.
Thank you.
Aloha and good night.